Hey, it's the Abstract Oracle, and I am back with another video. I'm going to start this video off in a kind of a different way. I was sitting here kind of just, listening to some of the people that I watch on YouTube and things like that. And my brother had mentioned to me last night, was I going to be doing videos about things, the current events, like what had happened to, George Floyd in Minnesota. And of course, we know about the things that happened in Atlanta and all of the different racially motivated things that are going to be happening. So I saw one of the latest ones was with, what's her name? Amy Cooper. So Amy Cooper was can be added to the list of a lot of other Caucasian women who have called police on Black people just minding their business and doing their thing. Her case was a little different in the sense that the man, his last name is Cooper too. Let me see. I can't remember his first name. Christian Cooper. So Christian Cooper, no relation, of course, because what you call it, well. Anyway, no relation. So they showed the video, and I'm sure many of you have seen the video already. And lately, I normally don't even watch the news because it's just usually just a lot of just murder, death, kill, and that's not really where I want to send my energy. Unlike my mom, who will have CNN or the news on all day long, playing the same stories over and over again. I don't know how she can do it, but anyway, so I don't really watch the news like that. And I also don't like to necessarily have speak on a lot of these police brutality videos. They're very disturbing to me. I find it very I'm not sure how you can find it in your mind or heart to justify that type of behavior towards another human being, especially based on their skin tone. I don't understand that. It's just really, it just seems very bloodthirsty to me. And I'm not sure what kind of psychological issue that would be considered, but it's definitely one, to feel as though you have to get this person to submit to you, to obey you, and if not, then your life can be threatened. I find that very disturbing. So I wanted to acknowledge the incident in Atlanta or Georgia. I'm sorry, I don't know if it was actually Atlanta or not, but Georgia, with the young man, and also the thing in Minnesota with George, and now this thing with Christian Cooper. So I didn't want to speak on, I haven't watched the video of the Minnesota massacre, because that's really what it is. I haven't watched that because I just can't. I can't watch something like that. I don't know, it's very disturbing, and not even have had to watch it to understand the feeling of it. I can feel it in my energy and in my body, and I know that that is something that it's almost like this is why this is happening. So that that visceral feeling we have can be felt throughout the universe, because to think that you're not being affected by these things, and or because we've become numb to a lot of it because it happens so often, it's still, that feeling is still there, that energy is still there, that emotion is still there. So it's like these incidents are happening to create this energy that can be pulsate out into the atmosphere. And one of the other things is I decided to speak on the Christian Cooper thing a little more than the other two incidents, because this was a little lighter and almost comical, actually, in my opinion, because Amy really thought she was doing something. And then backfired on her. And that's what you get, Amy. Sorry, welcome to the world. Welcome to reality. This is what you get. Now you're embarrassed, and you're not racist, and yes, you are. A racist is someone who is a part of a systematic system that is oppressing others. You are a part of it, and you also expressed it with your privilege by calling the police because someone corrected you. You have leash laws in New York. I've seen it, I know, just like we have leash laws out here. If you have an animal, a dog, you should be definitely out in public. You should be having a leash on your dog, because you never know what triggers a dog, and then the next thing you know, you're getting a lawsuit because somebody got bit. So even for your own personal reasons, your own personal protection, you should have had a leash on your dog. But because you were upset because a black man corrected you on something that you are fully aware of, but just were being disobedient, you decided you're going to call the police. Then, on top of you calling the police on the man, you're going to tell him what you're going to say. I'm going to tell them that an African American man is threatening me. Really? That you're not racist? Then why do you have to be an African American man? Why couldn't he just be a man? Really? Because you know that if you put the African American or the black on it, then, and in some cases, they'll go as far as to saying the N-word to get the kind of response you want from the police, which are remarkably majority white. We know, just like and you demonstrated in this video that the Christian Cooper captured of you, that you are fully aware and in the knowledge of what you're doing. You saying to him you were going to do that proves that you know that if I, as a Caucasian woman, say to 911 or whomever to send the police because an African American, they're going to be Johnny on the spot. And there's a possibility that he could be violated. Whether in that violation could end up being from being unlawfully detained to being killed. So in any way that you cut it, Miss Cooper, you should be legally charged with a crime. That is a hate crime. You said it with intent. You changed the tone of your voice when you spoke to 911. At first you said it normally, I'm being attacked by, I'm being, not attacked, I'm sorry. She said, threatened. I'm being threatened by a black man, African American man. When you didn't get the response that you were looking for, you amped it up, and me and my friend termed it a long time ago, and this is probably not politically correct, but I don't care. We called it white girling. Like, oh, she's gonna white girl you. And that's exactly what you did. And it just made me think about Margaret Child when she tried to say, oh, women don't lie about being raped. It was like, really? Really, Margaret? I can't. Go sit down somewhere. Go lay down. Because you clearly don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's like I lost all kind of respect for you. I can't even look at you right now. You weren't ever funny to me anyway. But for you to even say something like that, let that kind of slide out of your mouth, it was like, ma'am, do you know how many black men have lost their lives based on a lie a white woman told about them? Stop it. About rape in particular, stop it. You should have never. Sometimes it's okay to shut the fuck up. Sometimes it's okay. I think if more people would practice that, then they could see. It's like we want to talk when it's not the right time to talk, and then you want to be quiet when you should be saying something. I just find that fascinating. I find it fascinating that people really. uh, I don't get it. I don't get it. And it just is amazing to me that, there's so many things that are going on that I find super interesting with that. For her to think that that was okay and that she was going to get away with something because that's what she was doing. You lied simply because he was correcting you. And there's something that tells me, you can see it throughout things on social media or whatever. You can see how people have an issue with being corrected. There is nothing wrong. You should want someone to correct you. There's nothing wrong with being corrected. When you're wrong about something, oh, I thought it was this. It doesn't mean it doesn't take away from your character. It shouldn't affect your self-esteem. It should actually enhance your self-esteem. If somebody is correcting you, that means that they care about you and they want to see you do well. So they are correcting you like, no, it's actually this. But because we have this thing about being corrected, it's such an ego thing that you cannot even stand or tolerate somebody correcting you on something, that you will fight tooth and nail with somebody, and just so that you can be in your mind to be right about something you're not right about. And that to me is so weird. I don't understand how people do that. Like, okay, I'm telling you the sky is blue. You saying no, it's green. I bring you all type of evidence to show you blue. I show you all different shades of blue, and show you green, and how those two colors are not the same color, same hue, same shade. And you fight. I got 100 other people there to tell you, no, this is blue. This is not green. You just refuse to move on that. I find that fascinating. I find that very fascinating. Like, that is what a closed mind is. And that brings me to my other part of the subject, where I said I was going to do like a little series on what has reality TV taught me. So one of the things that this reality TV has taught me recently is that no matter how much someone proves to you that this person is not evil or not this, if you don't like them, you're going to continue, regardless to whatever evidence is shown, whatever, anything. It could be pictures, it could be recordings, it could be whatever. If they don't like you, you're going to remain that evil, hateful person that they have made you be. Now, you don't actually have to be that, but because they have such this narrow tunnel vision about who you are, that they can't see beyond that to see that this is, first of all, this is a television show, and lie vision is telling a lie to your vision. It's saying to you, this is not what it tells you in the title of television, that this is not what. Don't go by what you see. Do not go by the appearance of things, because they can make things appear to be, and they keep telling you, oh, editing, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that person, I am one of those people as well that feel like, editing can do some damage, but yes, I did say certain things. That's where I was having a debate back and forth with some people on Facebook about the difference between a fact and the truth. A fact can be, and they were like, oh, of course, a lot of them were men. Oh, mansplaining to me because I'm the little girl who doesn't know what she's talking about. But they were like, oh, no, a fact is a fact, and such and such and such and such. And it's like, so I gave the example. I said, the fact is, more black men go to prison than Caucasian men or men of any other race. The truth is, a lot of those black men don't belong there. See, you see what I'm saying here, where I'm going with that? It's like a fact can be based on something that is temporary, whereas the truth remains the truth all the time. The fact is the sun comes out every day. The truth is it's not always hot when the sun comes out. So, anyway, my point is with this, what it has shown me, and that is how people are so dead set on making you be this particular thing, and made it very easy for me to understand how in the story about the life of Jesus, how he could be persecuted, even having had those certain things like that happen to myself, happen with me personally. It's like, so to see how, regardless to whatever the truth of the matter is, the facts will not make a person necessarily change their mindset. And that to me is a little scary, in the sense of when you're presented with all of these different things and a person cannot for the life of them get beyond that to see a more broader perspective, is like, wow. Now these same people that are on social media saying, oh, I know this person, as if they actually know these people personally. But what they know their character, and oh, I feel sorry for them, their family, I feel sorry for their baby, and and it's like, wow, really? Oh, okay. That's interesting. And it's like, what? You have made a whole judgment about a person that you've never met. You've never been in the company of, but you've determined somehow that this person is a terrible person and they don't deserve to have friends, love, anything. It's like, wow, that's really, I find that so weird. Like, that's some weird stuff, y'all. And I would not want you to be a jury of my peers if I was, if I had to base things off of, relying on you to save my life. The American public, ain't no way in the world. Like, no, you can't have justice with people with mindsets like that. It's not possible. It's not possible. Which is why you still get people, going back to what I was talking about originally, you still get police officers who are, off with paid leave, and after they've murdered somebody. Fortunately for the people of Minnesota, these police officers were fired. But I can't understand when a person, it's like I was saying in my video about the Atlanta housewives, it's like, how can you hit somebody and tell them that it didn't hurt? It's like, that's what you're doing. When you're putting your knee on someone's neck, how are you going to tell them they can't breathe? They're telling you, I can't breathe, and you're like, oh, well, you talking. Okay, but breathing is a two-way process. It's not just one way. It's an exhale and there's an inhale. So I may have some air still left in my body to be able to say, I can't breathe. That doesn't mean I'm getting air in. So it's a two-way process. So for you to say something, you breathing like because you can talk, like that doesn't. No, that's not how it does. It works necessarily, and that's why you're a cop and not a doctor. You cannot, and as you can see from the result of your thinking, you were wrong. So you all have taken a life, and then not only taken a life, but traumatized all the people that were around you watching when this happened. And even again affecting people like myself who haven't even seen it. And it's like, wow, that's some powerful stuff. The thing to me is that I wish that we would try to, like, we social distance, we're practicing the social distancing now with each other because of Corona. I wish we could social distance ourselves from those types of stories. You know, it's like that wave that goes out and it affects people, and on both sides, and it's not a good feeling. And they keep this energy going. And I'm saying they, when I'm talking about they, I'm talking about the force. I don't call them the powers that be. I say the forces that be, because power and force are different. Power is just power. It's just exuded. There's no effort. Force is intentional, and effort, is full of effort. Whereas power is effortless. So with the forces that be, and that means the media and all of these things that, we share these videos with each other, and that's like a contagion. That's a virus, because I also understand that there are people who their job is to be the watchers of what is happening. So I don't want to make it seem as if they're wrong in any way, because I don't feel that way. But I do feel as though we have to be very careful with what we're putting out in the universe, and not only with the words, our actions, and our deeds. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say about that. So I do want to see in the energy cards what is the outcome of this Minnesota incident going to be like the others that we've experienced over the years. Because I don't know if it's just because we have social media and we have 24-hour news and all that stuff. I'm from a time when they didn't have that, when the news was kind of more like just the news. It wasn't a television show, because it is a television show now. But it seems as though there's been this upswing of killing Black people. And I just wanted to know if, because most of those people who killed Black people, nothing really legally has happened to them. So are these two cases, okay, that's told me to stop. Are these two cases going to be different? Let's try it this way. Is the outcome going to be different than it has been in the past? So now, when I was thinking about this question, and I'm gonna get a little more specific too, I was thinking of, I'm sorry, I can't remember the young man's name in Aubrey. Is it Aubrey? Aubrey is his last name. Okay. So I was thinking about Aubrey from Georgia, and George from Minnesota, and also Mr. Cooper in New York. So the first card that came up, deceit. So we know there's going to be some lies, just like, Amy tried to lie and say she wasn't racist. And, I'm sure the cops will be like, well, we weren't doing an illegal hold, or, you know, something, it'll be something that's not true. So that's not surprising. Then we have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. Michael is like the top dog of the archangels, and the first chakra is your root chakra. So it's saying this is something with the root, right? So we know this has been going on for centuries. It's been with our great grandparents and their parents, and on and on and on, since our sojourn here in America. We dealing with Caucasian people, we have been dealing with the same type of energy. So we're dealing with something that's dealing with the root now. And what's happening is those things that they used to do aren't going to work anymore. They're not going to be able to work anymore, just like we saw with Amy. You tried it, aw, woo woo. It's not going to work anymore though, girl. We're not doing that anymore. We're letting this energy go, right? And again, this is not there. I feel like the forces that be are trying to make this a black and white thing, but this is not a black and white thing. This is a people thing. And we have to be responsible for, yes, racism definitely exists. And those people should be treated like they have a psychological issue, because that's what it is. So they need to have some medicine or something to deal with their psychological. When we see them doing hate crimes and stuff like that, like Amy did, or those men in Georgia, on the cops in Minnesota, not only should they be charged with a hate crime and sued civilly, they should also be forced to have psychological treatments, because there's something wrong with you. Especially if you want to try to justify this. And I have yet to, and I could be wrong, you can correct me if I am, I have yet to hear any of these police officers who've killed somebody apologize to those people's family. I haven't seen it yet, to actually apologize to them. They don't say anything to the family. And it's like, that's like a big fuck you to them. And it's like, wow, really, y'all? So and which also says you're not sorry. You don't care. You're like, you've justified it in your mind. And even though you may not be saying it, one more nigga gone, yay, for our team. That's how it comes across. And then you wonder why. Then we'll have people, your allies, talking about Blue Lives Matter, and yeah, well, he was justified in his behavior, and all of this bullshit, because it's bullshit. But you try to, because you have your privilege, you are continuing to allow this stuff to take place, because you trying to hold on. We understand. You're trying to hold on. You don't want to disappear. But the thing is, like, none of us are getting out of here alive. So for you to think that by you killing off black people, that's going to help you thrive, is crazy. Like, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. So this is where this is going to be rooted out. It has to be. It can't continue to go on anymore. And then we have, and that's what Archangel Michael does. He severs those ties with his sword of flame. He comes through and cuts that out. So there's some changes that are going to be happening with that root thought process that people have around race and things like that, because it's all crazy. We're all human. Just because of somebody's complexion, you can't appreciate the different colors you can't tell me you love a rainbow and you don't love people that are a different color than you. I don't believe you. I don't see color. You should probably get some glasses or get an eye exam then. Because that's saying you totally ignore the fact that other people are of different hues and complexions than you, so you can't appreciate their beauty. Anyway, then we have Archangel Gabrielle, the 5th chakra. So we're talking about the throat. Things have to be said. They have to be expressed, and people have to speak up. You can't. When my brother was telling me about the Minnesota case and how many people were out there, and he brought up a good point too. He was like, dang, it seemed like somebody could have done something, thrown a rock or did something to get him up off of that guy. And to me, it was just like if somebody had just started saying no, just saying it. But because there's a fear of dying, we're dying anyway, y'all. We're dying anyway. It's like, so why be afraid if you're going to? It's like you can't be afraid to lose your life and also lose all of your liberties in that process, because you could have saved that y'all could have saved that man's life, but you were paralyzed by fear. And that is terrible, but that speaks volumes on how this living in America as a person of color is. There's people who want to deny that. It's like you are delusional. Just like I said, those people who you never met, you don't know them, but you have determined who they are. You need to really watch yourself, and then for you to say that you are a Christian country, Jesus would be ashamed. And I feel like Jesus says, keep my name out your mouth, because you are so judgmental that it's ridiculous. And you need to check yourself about your judgmental behavior, just like I do. I'm not saying anything that I wouldn't say. I don't say to myself. We have to watch our judgments. We are really, really like on this. It's going to come back to bite you. It's going to come back to bite you. I'm telling you, if you're not careful with how you judge things, those very things you're judging are going to come back to you. So, okay, I'm done with my rant for now. And I hope that you have a pleasant day. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share with others. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you on the next video.